welcome back to Mackey Arena. 4 minutes left in the first half. The Hornets are out on top, 24-17. Bob Alvarez along with Kevin Medved and Phil Gerbic. Glad you could join us this morning, or is it the afternoon right now, I suppose, here in West Lafayette for the 1983 Lafayette Semi-State.
Bob, Benton Central's having a tough time shooting out there so far in this first half.
Once again, they won't get it to drop. That was Christopher. Brian Asbury wants some help, so he unloads at the 6'9" Tellis Franks.
Benton Central got the shot they wanted, though. It just took the goal out. He got a nice 8-foot turnaround jumper and just winged it in and out.
Troy Douglas goes one-on-one from inside the paint, and he gets his 4th point. The Hornets up on top now by 9.
Troy Douglas is another one of those guys coming off the bench that can start for a lot of teams.
Christopher, he has his first bucket of the second quarter. He now has 8 points. Johnny Fort, yes. Johnny Fort, we didn't see him shoot much from the outside last Saturday, but at Wednesday at practice, he said, hey, Bob, I'm going to be putting it up from the outside. You wait and see.
He's the money player, the 4-team All-American.
Rebound basket. Benton Central is good. Robbie Hum now has 5. It's a 28-21 Lew Wallace lead. 2:39 left to go in the first half. Fort again. Won't go. Douglas with the loose ball. Off to Fort. He's having some problems. Douglas will put it up. Yes.
Nice running one-hander there, Bob.
I've seen that in the Lake Station League when we play on Sundays. I've seen
a couple of times. Rick Federick used that move.
He likes the running one-hander, and so does Troy Douglas. Wallace leads 30-21.
Nice play by Asbury. Just keeping the ball alive and getting it out.
Johnny Fort inside. No.
Trying to get the 3-point play. Asbury made that play, though. He knew he couldn't get a hold of it, so he just tipped it out, kept it alive, and unfortunately the layup was missed there by Coops.
Kerry Dimmitt with a foul, and I have that just the second team foul on Benton Central.
Number 4 on the team.
Johnny Fort will go to the line for the Wallace Hornets, and of course everybody back home, you know about Johnny Fort. He's set a school record for assists, and he also is averaging 21 points a game. He's at the free throw line.
Go hard.
Johnny Fort will go with the 3 knee bends, and then he puts it up. He's got 6 points in this ball game. His first free throw was missed. And I know Johnny Fort won't want me to say this, but I went one-on-one with him one time in practice and hit the 10-foot baseline jumper.
Is that right?
Yeah, I know Johnny wouldn't want me to say it, but...
Yeah, well, somebody has to.
There you go. It's 31-21. The Wallace Hornets out on top. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Hornets playing better ball here in the second quarter. I think they got rid of the jitters. Inside move. Asbury with a rebound.
Nice pass, too.
Woo!
Beautiful rebound and pass by Asbury. He pulled the ball off high off the boards and kicked it out to Fort. Slam jam. Brought the fans down from the Wallace side.
We're going to have a jump ball. Things are getting mean inside.
I don't know if I'd want to mix things up too much with Brian Asbury.
No, you've got the pyramids down there, Brian Asbury and Tellis Frank.
Yeah, that's that Middle East offense.
There you go. Get it to the pyramid.
Yeah.
Frank should win this jump ball. Going up against Dimmitt.
Look, I'm looking to see Fort's cheating already down court. There he is.
Another
one. Yeah, he caught Fort and was leading. He had his body turned. He knew he was getting the tip, and he just played it with another jam. That's 2 in a row now. This place is like a zoo, Bob.
35-21, Phil.
Almost another near steal in the backcourt, Bob.
Stupid foul by Frank. Brian Asbury has a few words. You know, I talked with Bryan, and we're going to have an interview with Bryan coming up at halftime, and you know, he's the guy that settles things down for the Hornets. And, you know, he's kind of the man out there, and when things are going bad, he's the guy that they look for. Number 44, Brian Asbury. Some substitutions for the Hornets. Number 12 is now in the ball game, Dwayne Coops. Franks is going to sit out also.
I think it's going to give Frank a little blow here at the end of the first half, Bob. We've only got a minute 12 left, or minute 18. Give Tellis a little break now and make them come out much stronger in the second half.
I know, so you don't want to pick up another foul either.
Free throw, no good.
They got the game in command right now, so I think there's a lane violation on that call.
You know, the one time the score was 20-17 Lew Wallace. Now it's 35-21. The Hornets are up by 14 with 1:17 left to play. We hope you're enjoying this afternoon's broadcast. Anderson, a winner in game one, 74-64. Second free throw is good. John Atha has his first point of the ball game.
He's got one more coming, Bob, because of the lane violation.
Okay.
It's not like the ABA 3 to make 2.
High school basketball at its finest. The Lafayette Semi-State on Channel 50. So Atha gets the second chance and makes good and hits both free throws. The Hornets on top, 35-23. We have 112. The Hornets may want to get the last shot off.
It looks as if Coach Smith's up off the bench. He wants him just to take the one shot with 1:03 left.
But they won't be shy about it. If they see an opening in the lane, they'll go to it no matter how much time.
And Benton Central's picking them up high, so that opening may be there, Ken.
Yeah, I looked at maybe Asbury here in the corner. Looks like he's getting ready to make a break towards the lane.
Number 12, Dwayne Coops. 5-second call against the Hornets.
Wallace, a little bit out of their game going in the slowdown game.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of unfamiliar offense to them. They like to get it up there and put it up hard.
That's like buying a Ferrari and driving slow.
Yeah,
Just don't do it.
That's as good as an analogy as I guess you can make about it.
Hornets on top, 35-23. The last 40 seconds here in the first half. Number 31 is Dimich. Or is Atha, I'm sorry. Steal by Fort. We're going to have a foul on Atha.
Yeah, that was a foul on Atha.
Quick hands by Fort that time to force that turnover and the eventual foul.
Second foul on Atha. Earl Smith is really giving somebody a little beef there on the bench. And he's having a heated discussion with Dwayne Coops.
Looks like Fort's walking a little tenderly on that right ankle, Bob.
Well, we'll see how that develops. He only has 31 seconds left here in the first half before he might be able to get some ice. And there's a good shot of the fourth-team parade All-American. Free throws up and good.
Yeah, Benton Central there, they wanted to hold that last shot there and get that basket and cut that lead to 10 going into the dressing room. But now Wallace looks like they may give up by 14. And I don't know, it's still a lot of time left here. But Wallace is playing the game they wanted to play. Benton Central a little bit out of it right now.
Johnny Fort hits them both. He has 12. Johnny Fort and, in my estimation, McAllister there at West Side, the two best guards in our area this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
There's a turnover.
Bad pass, Bob.
Hornet pressure.
Jerry Dimich made a bad pass there. Stopped his dribble too soon. No reason to pick up the ball where he did.
23 seconds left in the first half. Hornets on top by 14.
Now they can go up by 16 in the dressing room, so this will be a big swing.
Calvin Douglas. Out to Troy Douglas.
They're going to start their move right here, Bob.
5 seconds to go. It'll count.
It'll go, too.
Yes. And it goes. Troy Douglas with his 8th point at the buzzer. So the Lew Wallace Hornets very, very impressive here in the second quarter. The score at the half is 39-23 in favor of Lew Wallace. We'll be back with halftime activity after this. Acquisition and broadcast of today's second game of the Lafayette Semi-State is made possible through grants from American Savings and Loan Association of Munster, Indiana, Hooks Dependable Drugs, Pepsi-Cola Bottlers Company Incorporated of Munster, Indiana, and Hampton and Highland Luxury Apartment Community, 2300 Azalea Drive. Phone 924-7550. Okay, we're back here at West Lafayette, Indiana, Mackey Arena. We're glad that you could join us, Bob Alvarez, Kevin Medved, and Phil Gervich for the Lafayette Semi-State. In Game 1, Anderson was a winner, 74-64. Here at the half, the Lew Wallace Hornets are out on top, 39-23, and we've got some scores from some of the other semi-states around the area. Kevin?
Yeah, Indianapolis, number 6 ranked Connorsville with 22-2 record, the best record here in Final 16 teams other than Washington. They beat Indian Creek 67-45 today. Over at Terre Haute in the first game, number 20-5 Princeton beat Cloverdale 58-54. And at the first game, in Fort Wayne semi-state, DeKalb beat defending champion Plymouth 49-44.
So we will have a new state champion in boys high school basketball. You just heard it. Plymouth knocked off 49-44 by DeKalb, and I want to thank Rich Underwood back at the studio for relaying those scores to us. And right here at the half, the score is 39-23. And, you know, on Wednesday, I caught up with Earl Smith over at the Genesis Center, and he told me that he changed practice sites because he learned a few lessons from his experience in 1975.
And one of the problems that they had was adjusting to the elevated court. And then you also have a different shooting background with the portable stands, with the baskets, and then there's a long distance between the basket and the wall. So that was a problem. Then another thing was the hollow sound of the ball, you know, when you're bouncing it. You know, usually with a floor like this, you got to really kind of pound the ball kind of hard to get it to come back the way that you would like for it to come back. So these things kind of prompted me to see what I could do, and I felt that we had this facility down here, and the mayor graciously consented to let us come down and use the facility. So we were very happy to come down because I've noticed a very striking difference the way we're practicing today and the way we practiced yesterday. So it's been a plus for us. We've adjusted to a new floor very quickly, and I think that will help us to let the kids know that they can go into a strange setting and still be familiar with the things that they can do well. The other thing, we're handling the ball much better. The kids seem to feel like this floor has a good lift to it, and this is the same thing that you have down at Purdue. So I would say that the kids are jumping higher, believe it or not. At least psychologically, they feel that this floor has something to do with the way they're playing. So, you know, I would say that the practice sessions have a great deal more intensity right now.
Okay, we're back at Mackey, where the Wallace Hornets lead 39-23, and there you just heard from Earl Smith, his explanation of why he decided to take the Lew Wallace Hornets to the Gary Genesis Center instead of practicing over at Lew Wallace, Kevin.
Well, he's got a valid point there, but I think, you know, you got 84 foot of hardwood and you got two baskets. I don't think it really makes a lot of difference what you play, but the big thing was the psychological advantage it gives his players now. His players really practice on this type of raised floor, and now going into the game, they knew what to expect. A lot of these players haven't been out of sectionals before, yet alone down here semi-state. So now mentally they should be prepared, and as the scores shown, they evidently it did some well for them.
You know, also Coach Earl Smith told me that another reason he changed practice sites from Lew Wallace to the Genesis Center, he said it was becoming impossible to practice at Wallace because there were so many people peering into the gymnasium, a lot of people standing around and watching practice. So that was just one more reason why he decided to move practice over there at the Genesis Center, and practices were pretty intense over there. And you know, of course, this is the first time in 30 years that the Hornets have made the trip to Lafayette. So at Wednesday's practice session, I asked center BRYAN ASBERRY how he felt about competing in the Lafayette
ready
semis.
To go down there?
Yeah, I'm really ready. I've been waiting on it for the past 3 years. I've been watching Roosevelt, you know, down there and wishing that I was on the floor. And now I'm in the predicament there, and I just want to represent my school, you know, my family, and do the best I can do. That's right. It is the right time to peak, and I think, you know, we are one of the best ball clubs in the country. We have like people like Calvin Douglas that can go anywhere in the state, could start, but you know he's coming off the bench. And you have Troy coming off the bench, and Jake Spencer and Vincent Turner. You know, and like I said, anywhere else they could play. You know, and it's just we're grateful to God that you know we have people like that to make us work harder in practice. You know, it's not like you know we can mess around in practice. We can practice like on-hand games that you know haven't been as good as practices, man.
Wallace center BRYAN ASBERRY, of course, he is going to play ball over at Western Kentucky next year, and he told me that one of the ball clubs that was looking after him was Villanova.
Oh, hell, I guess they want him to place the Bear.
John Pannone, one of my favorite ball players.
Yes, he's going to graduate this year, so maybe they wanted the Bear to be replaced by ASBERRY.
Well, you know, as I said, a lot of schools were after BRYAN, and a real good young man. I had a long talk with him, and, you know, he's excited about being here in Lafayette, and, you know, he's just glad to be here, and he told me his ball club was ready, and so far they have been ready. At the half, the score is Wallace 39, Benton Central 23. We'll be back with more halftime after this.
St. John.
And welcome back to Mackey Arena. The Hornets out on top 39-23. Phil, what about the first half stats?
Well, Bob, very quickly, for Benton Central, we had the Bisons hitting on 9 of 25 attempts for only 36%. From the line, they hit 5 of 7 free throws, had 8 turnovers, and only pulled down 8 rebounds. Lew Wallace, on the other hand, hit on 18 of 32 tries for a 56% shooting average. From the line, they hit on 3 of 4, but out-rebounded Benton Central 16-8, which is the big factor in this ball game so far.
And Kevin, a halftime score there at Indianapolis.
Yeah, no, number 7th ranked Newcastle leading Indianapolis Broad Ripple 42-26 at the half here.
Okay, we're set for the third quarter. Johnny Fort led the Wallace Hornets with 12 points in the first half. So we'll see where he can pick up. We'll see where the Hornets pick up. They're on top right now, 39-23.
That's going to be interesting to see what Benton Central comes out here with.
Dimich on the baseline, can't get it to fall. Immediately we're going to have a foul on number 20, Troy Douglas. That's his second. For Benton Central on the floor, 33 is Kerry Dimich, 43 is his brother Court Dimich, 31 is John Atha, 45 is John Christopher, and number 25 is Todd Bacon. The Hornets go with Glover, Douglas, Franks, Asbury, and Fort. Inside Christopher, from behind, he's fouled by Johnny Fort.
Wallace is staying in that man-to-man defense, Bob, trying to keep pressure on the ball, trying to force a turnover.
Well, the Hornets have the big lead, 16 points, and I think the only thing that might hurt them is if foul trouble. If they can stay out of foul trouble, I think Wallace can hold on and win this one.
Coach Smith was talking about this week, the killer instinct. He himself wasn't sure what that was. I think it's a word being used, or a phrase being used anyway, all around basketball. But they tend to get a little complacent after jumping out to the big lead. They did it against East Chicago Roosevelt. They had Maryville at one time where they maybe could have been able to put them away. And I know Coach Smith's hoping it doesn't happen now.
So Christopher gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 39-24 ball game. Asbury, no good. Brian Asbury can't hit from the baseline. He had 4 points in the first half. John Atha's number 31. Dimich, turnaround, won't go. Rebound, fight for. We're going to have a jump ball. Tellis Frank, 6'9". John Christopher, 6'6".
Now, last time in a similar play like this, the ball was tipped to Fort, streaking down the court. Now, this time, Benton Central learned to have a man down there already.
Plus, we've got the jump ball near the Benton Central basket, so you're looking at a different situation. Tellis Franks wins the jump, but it's controlled by Todd Bacon, the senior. Inside to Dimich, won't go. Renee Glover. Nice play, but Fort will control and hit it.
Yeah, he's showing why he's the All-American. He's played a great game today.
Question is, will Johnny Fort be an All-Stater? And probably not on the first team when you got people like Blackman and Alford playing in the same state.
Oh, that's for sure.
And there's a jumper by number 43, Court Dimich. That gives him 8 points in the ball game. Little token pressure by Benton Central, 41-26. Hornets by 15. 6:23 left. Brad Asbury inside. Can't get it to go, and Bryant's having some tough troubles on the inside.
I think he was looking for a foul there, but I don't think Coach is too happy with that either. I think you're going to see Calvin Douglas checking in now at the next whistle.
Hornets with the collapsing defense. Atha having a little problem. The baseline. Bacon nice rejected block by Asbury.
Nice block.
Brian Asbury, we saw him do a few of those last week. Calvin comes back in, Calvin Douglas for Renee Glover. And we made a point, you know, he is the spark plug.
Well, this is the lineup that got him the big lead early in the second quarter. It's Calvin Douglas going down forward and bringing Johnny Ford out at the guard position.
Dimich, the baseline, he'll hit it. That's Kerry Dimich, and he has just 4 points. He scores about 16 a game, so obviously the Hornets have done a good job on him. 41-28, Lew Wallace. Second game of the Lafayette semi-state. Asbury will try it again. He uses the glass and gets it.
Fort with a nice pass. Caught him open. Didn't wait too long before a guy from collapsed on him, and he made a nice turnaround move to score.
Dimich won't go. Rebound. His own shot. Basket will count. We've got a foul on Asbury. Court Dimich gets his 10th point. We're going to have a timeout. We're going to have a timeout with the score. Lew Wallace 43, Benton Central 30. We'll be right back.
Next on Freedom to
at 7.
Now we're back at Mackey. Number 43 is Court Dimich. He was fouled by Bryan Asbury. He hits the free throw, and that'll give him 11 points on the ball game. It's 43-31 now. The Hornet lead cut to 12. Some pressure by Benton Central. Franks really hasn't touched the ball much on the offensive end this third quarter.
No, he hasn't. Fort and Asbury have been doing most of the offensive work for him right now.
They're going to trap Douglas. There's Franks on the baseline.
It's a good call.
A blocking foul. Real good call by the referee. There's a look at Dimich. Court Dimich picks up his first personal foul. Lew Wallace will have the ball inbounds under their own basket. I'll trigger Tellis Frank. Will trigger it in. Young man being sought after by many colleges. Bradley, Loyola, Valparaiso, Purdue.
Iowa State's been taking a hard look at him too.
Dick Versace is here in the crowd. We saw him earlier. Calvin Douglas won't go. Rebound kept alive by Asbury. It's going to be Wallace's ball.
I don't know. It looked like Asbury might have had a piece of that. Tipped it out of Dimich's hand. But the ref was right there. He made the call.
We've also seen Indiana University assistant coach Joby Wright in the crowd. Johnny Fort can't get it to fall.
There's a man open here.
That was Fort's man. Court Dimich, now he has 13. The Wallace lead is cut to 10. 4:30 left to go in the third quarter. Benton Central back to the 2-3 zone.
And I got the Benton Central crowd back into the game too. We're sitting here right to the left of us, and it's hard hearing ourselves talk right now.
Well, for some reason, Tellis Franks is playing out very high on this offense, and I really can't understand that.
I don't know either, Bob.
Little mix-up there by the Hornets. The pass intended for Douglas. Asbury thought it was coming his way. Wallace slowing it down again. Douglas will pass up the baseline jumper. Out to Tellis Frank. Well, the Hornets got lucky here. They were caught flat-footed. And I'll tell you what, Calvin Douglas is getting position inside, but Franks isn't getting him the ball.
That last sequence there was nothing to it. All they did was pass the ball. Nobody worked to the basket. Nobody tried to drive the lane, and nobody set any picks or screens. I don't think Coach Smith's trying to run time off the clock. I just think that they just weren't executing their offense, though.
Well, the Hornets are faced with somewhat of a zone press right now. They lead by 10. They had leads of 16 points.
Asbury all alone underneath, and they couldn't get the ball to him.
I look for a baseline jumper here from Glover Douglas.
Looks like Benton Central's in a 1-2-2 trap, Bob.
Nice glass by Glover. Renee, that's his first basket, Ken, and he was our MVP there in the regional.
Well, and rightly so, Bob. He was one of the alternative team members, but he played a great game there. Well, that's the thing. Wallace got the balanced attack. Anybody can hurt you on this game.
Christopher goes Asbury high with the rebound. Fort's got to dish it off. He does the Douglas to Glover.
Nice pass. Coaches for Benton Central looking for a charge there. I think that was a little bit of an Oscar attempt there, Bob.
We're going to have a foul there, and that should go against Benton Central. No, they're going to call Calvin Douglas.
Calvin bumped him with the body, Bob. I think the refs are just trying to take a little more control of this ball game. They don't want things to get out of hand.
Calvin Douglas, that's his first foul. Hornets are back up now by 14. 47-33, 2:45 left to go in the third quarter. High school basketball at its best live here on Channel 50. Hope you're enjoying our telecast. We're having a good time here in Lafayette. Christopher inside.
Nice move by Christopher. Made the fake and let Asbury go up, and then as he was coming down, Christopher went up strong with it for the basket.
Asbury, Glover, and Douglas, Troy, and Fort each with 2 fouls. The Hornets very much out of their game pattern. Douglas will like the baseline, though.
He's a nice shot for a big man. He's not afraid to put it up from anywhere either.
He's 6'5", Calvin Douglas. Right now, Benton Central needs a bucket. They're down 49-35. Dimich inside to Christopher. He's going to deal. He's going to score. Christopher now has 12.
Coach Smith thought Christopher shuffled his feet there. He wanted a traveling call.
Renee Glover, no good. Franks with the rebound, back up and in. Tellis Frank now has 6.
And nobody boxing out Frank or Douglas that time. Both of them were going for the loose ball. Frank pushed Douglas out of the way to get it.
Johnny Fort's leaving his feet as he passes against that zone. Benton Central's going to get a few charging calls on him. You watch.
He's been, he gets, I think, more offensive fouls than he does defensive fouls throughout the year.
You're right, Kevin. We're going to have a foul there on number 43. That's Court Dimich, and he picks up his second. Wallace is going to go back to the bench. We have number 43 in the ball game now. Vinnie Turner, he checks in the ball game.
John Butler just checked in for Dimich for Benton Central.
Also, Troy Douglas in the ball game. Calvin Douglas has a seat. Bryan Asberry's had a seat. He's gone the whole way. So we got Fort, Turner, Glover, Frank, and Troy Douglas on the floor for the Hornets.
And I bet you Coach Williams from Benton Central says, doesn't any of these guys off the bench get any smaller? Bring in Turner, he's 6'7".
A blocking foul here on Dimich, and he's quickly picked up his 3rd foul. Nice move there by Tellis Franks, got it off to Vinnie Turner, and a good play there for Turner because he got a shot off. He just got in the game, so he got a shot off. And Mike Williams, there you have a look at him. He doesn't like that call very much. So Tellis is going to go to the line. Wallace is leading rebounder. Tellis Frank has 6 points, scored 4 in the first quarter, and then hit a bucket here in the 3rd for his 6th. There's a good look at the 6'9" youngster. He gets it to fall.
Frank hit the big basket last week against ECR from the baseline with 10 seconds left.
Tied it at 68.
Exactly, setting up the big steal by Asbury.
So Tellis fails to tell it on that second free throw. He gets 1 to fall. The Hornets are up 52-37 with a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. Dimich, 33. Baseline, nowhere to go. Good defense by Turner. But Dimich is going to get it off after he retreats from it for a few feet. He has 6 points now.
I think Wallace will give him that shot, even though he's made a couple of them there. It's not the high percentage shot when you're down by 16 points.
The Hornets, with 33 seconds left, are working the ball against this man-man pressure by Benton Central. Troy Douglas is very open underneath, and Vincent Turner is on the other baseline.
Turner wants the ball, too. Nice pass and catch by Fort.
Jump ball.
Good call. Just didn't have complete control of the ball, or he probably would have went up with it and scored.
It should be an interesting jump. Both ball players about 6'6". Johnny Fort, John Christopher.
Christopher's a quick jumper, though, Bob. He gets up quickly.
Out of bounds. It's going to be Wallace's ball. He was on the end line. It's going to be Wallace's ball.
We're going to bring Calvin Douglas back in the game here.
Well, Coach Smith, Vincent Turner's going to have a seat. Calvin Douglas is back in the ball game. Number 45, Douglas has 8 points off the bench.
A little bit of better outside shot at Calvin Douglas is, and he stepped on the line.
Well, not a very smart play by the Hornets, Phil.
No, especially not with 12 seconds left in the quarter. All Wallace had to do was bring the ball out on top, work for one good shot. Instead, they're going to give Benton Central the last shot of the quarter.
Exactly. Should have had the ball out there by the half-court line where there's no pressure.
Well, we're winding out the final 7 seconds here of the 3rd quarter. Long jumper is not going to fall. Frank's rebound. Long outlet pass. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, the score, Lew Wallace 52, Benton Central 54-39. We'll be back with the final 8 minutes of action after this.
At 6.
And welcome back to Mackey Arena. You're watching high school basketball at its best here on Channel 50. Bob Alvarez along with Kevin Medved and Phil Gerbic. We have 8 minutes to play. The Hornets on top 52-39. Phil?
Well, Bob, in that third quarter, Benton Central hit on 7 of 12 attempts for 58%. That's an improvement over their halftime shooting, but the problem is they only gained 2 points on the Wallace lead. They were down 15 at the half, now they're down 13 with only 1 more stanza to go.
Okay, the Hornets are going to come out with Fort, Asbury, Tellis Frank, Calvin Douglas, and Troy Douglas. For Benton Central, it's number 45, John Christopher. 35 is John Butler. The Dimich brothers, Court and Carrier out there, along with number 31, John Atha. Tip controlled by the Hornets. Tellis Frank to Fort. Nice hands.
Real nice hands. He had the 2 guys open underneath. He got him the ball, but they couldn't come up with the basketball.
And the Wallace cheering block is chanting L-Dub, L-Dub, and that's Lew Wallace, Lew Wallace.
I don't remember that cheer there when I was there, Bob.
No, I think that's one they've come up with in the past few years. But that's what they're saying. That's the chant you hear in the background. Tellis Frank. Nice pass! Woo!
Nice. 2 crisp passes, one from Fort to Frank, the other from Frank to Asbury for the easy bucket.
That's what you call ball movement. Hornets 54-39. Benton Central, Tellis Frank with the big steal.
Tellis Frank is really doing a lot of things real well, Bob. He's not scoring a lot of points, but he's playing solid defense. He's also pulling down quite a few rebounds for the Hornets.
There's a foul there on Butler. That'll be his first. Blocking foul.
I don't know, it seems nowadays I've seen more charging calls or players attempting to draw a charging call than I've seen in I don't know how many years. I think that goes back to probably the Bobby Knight mode of coaching. I think that's where a lot of these players are picking it up from.
Douglas little out of his range. We're going to have an over-the-back foul by Troy Douglas. That's his third. You know, Benton Central's down right now 54-39. But, fellas, if my memory serves me fresh, it was kind of this situation in Game 1.
Exactly.
That's right, Bob. Lebanon was down by 16 points with only 3 minutes left to go in the game. And they were able to pull it back within 6 points with a minute left. So anything can happen in high school basketball today.
Court Dimich is at the line. He has his 14th point of the ball game. He's averaging 16 a year. He's a 76% free throw shooter. So he's going to have one more. The score is now 54-41 Wallace.
Going to come up here with a zone trap now and try to make a couple of turnovers just like Lebanon did in the earlier game.
Johnny Ford is number 34, having some problems. Gets it off to Calvin Douglas. That's Troy Douglas. That shot is no good. Asbury, we're going to have a foul on Christopher.
Got him over the back that time.
Yeah, Asbury's all day long. He's been camped out underneath on either side of the basket there, and he's just space eater. He's too big to move out of there. Christopher having a hard time with it.
You know, I was at the stadium one time and saw the 76ers play the Bulls, and just how massive Daryl Dawkins is. This when he was with the 76ers. Kind of reminds me of Brian Asbury. You take a look out there, and he's twice as big as any ball player out there.
He sure is.
He's not a bad foul shooter either.
No, as a matter of fact, he's the one that hit the 2 big free throws last week and against East Chicago Roosevelt to win the game for him.
We've got a timeout here. Lew Wallace is out on top, 55-41. They have a 14-point lead. We'll be right back to Mackey.
9:30.
And we're back here at Mackey Arena, 55-41. The Hornets on top by 14. 7 minutes left. That's Brian Asbury at the free throw stripe. Hit his first one. The second one is also good. Bryan now has 10 points on the ball game.
He's the leading free throw shooter for the year at 87% from the free throw line.
Hornets with some pressure. Johnny Fort leads all scorers, or he's high man for Wallace with 14. Court Dimich has 15. He leads all scorers in this ball game.
No need to throw up a bad shot here. They got to work for the good shots. Plenty of time.
They have to work, but that's the first shot that Benton Central's taken here in the second half, and already a minute and a half's gone by.
We're going to have a backcourt foul on Dimich, trying to rattle Johnny Ford a little bit. Number 33 is Kerry Dimich, and I think that's his second. So that'll send Johnny Ford to the line. We commented earlier, Johnny will go with the 3 knee dips, and then he'll put it up. There's a look at the handsome Parade All-American. 1, 2, there's the 3rd dip, and there's a shot. Won't go.
Nice play by Coops.
Douglas, number 20. Johnny Ford, there's an acting job by
they're trying to draw that offensive foul.
It's going to be out of bounds, L-Dub. Wallace, we got 6:20 left. They're on top, 56-43. 13-point lead. You're watching high school basketball on WCAE-TV in St. John, Indiana, Northwest Indiana's leader in sports television.
Almost a 5-second count there.
Right now, Bob, Wallace is in a position that they don't have to do anything cute. They can just work the ball, try to run a patented offense, and they could put this one away.
Well, right now, Earl Smith doesn't like the way Troy Douglas is running things, so Renee Glover, I think, is going to check in right now.
Right.
Get a little more ball handling ability, and he's got a little more experience under his belt. Johnny Ford having problems. Asbury, that's where he likes it. He doesn't like the glass, though.
A little too hard there.
The glass isn't kind to him this time. Benton Central quickly up court. Dimich, no. Rebound inside to Dimich, but we're going to have a foul. No basket foul on Bryan Asbury.
He just gave, Asbury just gave the referee the Ted Kitchell, who me look?
Well, Asbury had good position inside, but he let the ball slip right through his hands. Allowed Benton Central to get a hold of the ball and in turn gave himself another foul.
Well, we're going to keep it right here during this timeout. Ken, you mentioned Ted Kitchell. Big game for Indiana tomorrow.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're playing Oklahoma tomorrow afternoon at 2:15 and going against that top rookie.
Tisdale.
Tisdale, yeah. But then again, the Hoosiers been playing some pretty good ball themselves lately.
Yeah, Tisdale likes that baseline game, likes the inside game. So we may see Knight go with Jimmy Thomas, maybe.
Probably even a little surprise, being as Thomas will be about 4 inches shorter than Tisdale. But everybody knows what kind of player Jimmy Thomas is, and he'll get a lot of help from Uwe and the Bush.
So big game for Indiana tomorrow, and Indiana with some early recruits. A couple ball players announcing early that they will attend Indiana University and play basketball for the Hoosiers next year.
Scott Eel, I believe, one of them was out of Ohio, a junior. He's averaging, I think, about 17 points a game, too.
So nothing but good things happening for basketball fans over there at Indiana University. And we're back here at Mackey Arena for some more game action. At the stripe will be Tony Anderson for Benton Central. The Hornets on top by 13 with about 6 minutes left. 69% free throw shooter gets this one up, no good. Rebound Glover. Hornets looking for the fast transition game. Calvin Douglas, but we're going to have a walk. Glover on the walk, turnover Hornets.
Glover wasn't sure what he wanted to do, if he wanted to pass it to Douglas on the right or Ford on the left, and that little hesitation made the turnover, and it brought him out of the game, too.
Earl Smith says, hey, you goof up, you're out of there. So Troy Douglas back in the game for the Hornets. Kerry Dimich is 33. 45 is Christopher. Looks like they want to bring the Hornets out high, see if they can exploit underneath the basket. Dimich baseline, he likes it right there. Kerry has 8 points. The Hornet lead cut to 9, or 11, excuse me. Tellis Franks baseline move.
Nice
He's
move.
Got it.
Nice move. They're gonna count the basket too.
Nice move by Tellis Frank.
That time, Bob, Tellis has been early in the game. He would have dished that ball off. Benton Central laid off him. He went straight to the hoop, laid it in, and drew the foul.
Tony Anderson paid the price too on that. Anderson at 5'9", 145, went down like a ton of bricks after he was crushed by Tellis.
And that's Anderson's second foul, so that'll send Tellis Franks to the foul line. Tellis having a few words with the referee. I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see who lands this young man.
I think the There's a lot of teams after him, and he hasn't hurt his chances to go anywhere the last few games he's played.
Not at all.
I think he's taking the good attitude, though, Bob, that he's not going to let it interfere with his high school career here, and he's just trying to bring a state championship back to Lew Wallace.
Well, the Hornets, of course, we're behind him 100%. 3 Lew Wallace graduates, myself, Kevin, and Phil. Tellis Frank gets the free throw, so that'll give him 10 points on the ball game. He's canned 2 out of 2 free throws in this game. Hornets on top, 59-45, 5:20 left. This second game of the Lafayette semi-state. Quick hands by Fort, but Dimich recovers.
Right now, Bob, the shortest ball player on the court is number 20 for Lew Wallace, Troy Douglas, at 6'2".
So a lot of size out there, and you just saw a nice rejection by Tellis Frank.
Brian ASBERRY doing a little smile in there on that. He liked that himself.
Well, the Benton Central Ball Club, the Bisons running out of time here. 5 minutes left. They're down by 14.
And you can see the big difference on the Bisons on the bench. Earlier in the beginning of the game, they were up and jumping and waving their towels now. Now they got some of them got their arms folded and their legs kicked back, and looks like they're ready to accept the inevitable.
Well, we've got a lot of time. Brian ASBERRY just picked up his 4th foul as he was given the body to Christopher, as Christopher tried to grab the baseline. So that'll send Christopher up to the line. Misses. Calvin Douglas rebound for LW. Johnny Fort. Norm Anderson's hobbling off the court. Or Norm Held, I should say, the head coach at Anderson. Johnny Fort made up for his mistake with the rejection. You know, we didn't mention it earlier. Norm Held has got a little Achilles problem.
Yeah, he sure does. He's just hobbling around here. But he's not got a little thing like a Achilles tendon put him out for today.
Really, Norm Held said he tried to do a little practicing himself and made a mistake, and he stressed his Achilles.
He wanted to prove to the kids he's still young. He finally realized that maybe he's not as young as he thought he was.
Okay, 4:35 left. The Hornets still on top by 14. Christopher gets it to fall. John Christopher now has 16 points. The Hornets facing some full court pressure.
Christopher looks like he wants the ball down low, too, Bob. He's asking for it.
ASBERRY open underneath. Fort didn't see him, but he pulls up and scores anyway.
So Johnny Fort has 16 now. He scored 12 in the first half, hit 1 in the third quarter, now has 1 in the fourth for a total of 16. He's tied with Christopher for leading scorer in his ball game. Fort Dimmick, number 43. Perry Dimich, number 33. Outside jumper, no. Christopher leans into Fort, or Franks. Dimich, nice left hand.
Once again, Bob, Lew Wallace had good position underneath, but they allowed Benton Central to get 3 offensive rebounds that time.
ASBERRY makes a smart play by not trying to block that shot and coming up with another foul. And one of Wallace's strategies underneath sometimes is to let the players come underneath there, and with the big players they got underneath, they like to try to swat that ball away. Sometimes Coach Smith doesn't like to see that because they can tend to pick up too many fouls that way.
We saw the Hornets employ that tactic against Maryville, and they ended up getting in foul trouble. Tellis Franks at the line. He's looking for point number 11. He's not going to get it. Dimich with the rebound. 3:37 left. Hornets on top, 61-49.
Benton Central's got to make a run here. They need a couple of quick baskets if they want to get back in this game.
And that's how you start it. 12 for Dimich. Turned it over. Tellis Frank turned it over. We've got a timeout here with 3:23 left. Wallace is on top by 10. We'll be right back.
See how great.
3:23 left to play, and this is the second game of the Lafayette semi-state. The Hornets are up by 1. We saw Anderson almost blow a big lead in game 1, and now Wallace, who was led by as many as 17, is up by 10. Dimich puts the ball on the floor. It's off somebody's shoe, and the Hornets are control. Number 14's Renee Glover. Wallace having some slight problems here with the press.
Fort.
The Hornets come away empty-handed.
It's on the line. I think the referee got a little confused there. He thought he was playing the black line instead of the white line. And evidently the player did too, because he had a whole 1.5 foot stepped out of bounds there.
Well, that was lucky for Wallace because they're up, as I said, by 10. The next bucket will cut it to a 8-point lead. No foul, no foul.
I don't know, Bobby. There had to be a foul on somebody.
A foul there on Glover. And the basket will be good by Dimich.
Coach Smith wanted a foul here on the inbounds pass to Ford. It had to be a charge or a block there, but the ref made no call.
So Glover now has 3 personal fouls. The lead is cut to 8 at 61-53 with 2:48 left to go. Court Dimich, Kerry Dimich will be at the line. He's a 68%er. Averages 13 points a game. He has 14 now.
The cheerleaders are really getting that Benton Central crowd fired up, Bob. Makes you want to feel like going back to high school after looking at some of them cheerleaders.
Well, I'll tell you what, the whole scene here at Mackey's been beautiful this morning. A great ball game in the first one, a good ball game now. Dimich cans it, he's got 15. 2:48 left to go. Wallace is up by 7. Inbounds to Douglas. You got to go up with it. He does and gets it.
Good play.
I think Wallace has to play their game. Forget about the slowdown.
That isn't Wallace's game, Bob. You're exactly right. You saw they had trouble with the slowdown early in the first half.
Johnny Fort wanted the long outlet. Tella says, hey, not this time. Glover,
nice
Asbury off the glass. I thought he might jam. I thought he might jam.
I did too, but I think he just wanted to make sure he got that basket and give him that lead.
Hornets back up by 11. Inside the Dimich. Looks like a walk, but it doesn't.
He got away with it, Bob.
Johnny Fort, Douglas baseline, no good. Fort rebound, back up, no. Tap Douglas, no. Rebound, Dimich.
Well, they had 3 good shots at the hoop that time, Bob, but just wouldn't fall.
We've got 1:39 left. Hornets by 9.
They're letting him get the ball underneath. They're just letting him have the ball there. Dimich underneath without any defensive pressure at all. They can't allow that.
Renee Glover smartly pulls it back outside. A foul on Dimich. That'll be 4 on Court Dimich. 1:24 left to play. The Hornets are up by 9. They've led by as many as 17.
It's been a good game for Wallace. They've had, like you said, they've had that big lead, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Something happens to them. They let other teams get back in the game when they probably shouldn't. This game's probably a little bit closer now than Coach Smith would like to see. He thought they had this game well in hand, and it started to slip away from him a little bit.
Big free throw by Glover. He now has 5. The lead's back up to 10. The Hornets fighting for the right to meet Anderson in tonight's championship game. Glover gets the second 11-point Lew Wallace lead. 1:22 left to play in this ball game. Look for Dimich to put it up. Inside. Blocked by Franks.
Big block that time.
And another foul on Dimich. He's going to be out of here.
Yeah, that was a good play by Frank. Not only did he block the ball, but he went after it and caught it and drew the foul. He'll be shooting free throws now.
Well, that could be Court Dimich's final game as a high schooler. He exits with 17 points. He leads all scorers. And Phil, you mentioned before, Tillis Frank's doing a lot of things here.
Doing a lot of things right, Bob. The last 2 trips down the court, he stripped the man of a ball the first time, and that time came up with a big block and controlled the tip himself. So those are the kind of things that Lew Wallace needs down this stretch to hang on to this victory.
Well, the Hornet fans are singing nah, nah, hey, hey, goodbye, but there's a lot of time left, although they lead by 11 with 1:13 left. And Frank misses the free throw.
Can't afford that.
So the Benton Central Bisons are still alive. That's Dimich. Carey has it partially blocked by Frank. Christopher.
Double dribble. Double dribble.
Double dribble. You called it, Ken. Bryan Asberry shouting out to his teammates how he wants this set up so they can break the press here.
Benton Central not guarding the man, taking the ball inbounds, so they'll give it the extra defensive man out on the floor.
And we're going to have a substitution. Earl Smith's taken Johnny Ford out of the game, and I really don't understand this one. Dwayne Coops is inserted in the lineup. A little more quickness, perhaps? I don't know.
Ford looks a little tired, Bob. He's played hard the whole game. He's been going full the whole game. I think maybe Coach Smith just wants to give him a little rest.
Turnover, bad pass. Dimich, carry, works the inside, gets the hoop.
Good move.
He now has 17, and we're going to have a foul on Kerry Dimich.
Coach Smith wants 2 shots there, but the rest is 1 and 1 only.
Johnny Fort's going to come back into the ball game. And the crowd is quieted down here. 43 seconds left. Lew Wallace 67. Benton Central 58. Johnny Fort comes in for Bryan Asbury, and he's played a heck of a game here. He exits with 12 points, but as I remember last week, he went out of the game with about 40-some seconds, but came back in and then made the 2 key free throws.
Right.
So number 12 is going to be at the line, Dwayne Coops. He has 2 points in the ball game, hasn't been to the free throw line this ball game yet. Wallace leads by 9. And they still lead by 9. 40 seconds left. Benton Central has to get it up court in a hurry. Christopher, free throw, no good. Franks is fouled. Oh boy,
I don't know about that one, Bob.
They're going to call the foul on Tellis Franks. That's just his second for number 41.
Look the other way around to me.
Did right here too, Ken. John Butler's going to go to the stripe for Benton Central on the season. Butler's shooting 46% from the stripe.
They're saying by that time Butler had position, that Franks came into him.
So Butler has a chance to cut this Wallace lead, and he does. That lead is now just 8 points. He cans them both. Wallace up by 7. 60-57. It's inbounded. Joy Douglas is number 20. Gets out to Renee Glover. He's going to have it knocked away, but there's going to be a foul called. 26 seconds left.
Don't need to penetrate now. Just run out the clock.
Kevin Medved getting set to head down court to talk to the winning coach of this ball game. This game's still very much up in the air. Wallace up by 7 with 26 seconds to go. Renee Glover faced with a couple big free throws, Phil.
That's right, Bob. I think if he can put these 2 home right now, 9-point lead with only 26 seconds left, should be enough to take this one home.
Okay, Glover's first one is going to go. Renee's got 7 points. And I'd like to say hi to a friend in Valparaiso. Mark Derrick and his wife Nadine are sitting around watching the game. Mark, a 72 Wallace graduate. Mark, glad you could be with us. Glover won't get the second one, so the Hornets are up by 8.
Still though, Bob, Benton Central's got to score 4 times to tie it up.
Nice rejection by Fort. It's going to be controlled. There's 10 seconds left in this ball game. Looks like the Hornets are going to win this one. Christopher from about 4 feet out gets it to fall. But this ball game's going to be over. 3 seconds left. We're staying right here. 3 seconds left. Christopher's got 18. I'd also like to say hello to the Trocino family watching in Portage, and I hope they're enjoying this broadcast as we get a look at the crowd. 3 seconds left, Phil. The Hornets are up by 6. Looks pretty safe.
Yeah, Bob, I don't think there's too much Benton Central can do, but I can't help think back that this finish to this game was so much like game 1 we had here today.
And I'll tell you, this is going to set up one heck of a battle tonight with Anderson and Lew Wallace if the Hornets can hold it, which they should be able to with 3 seconds left. Tellis Franks playing a heck of a game here.
That's right. Tellis came on. I think that either he or Johnny Ford or Bryan Asbury, one of them had to take charge. And it looked as if Tellis decided he would be the one. And he's more or less turned the tide the Hornet way this second half.
Well, for the Hornets, Johnny Fort leads all scorers with 16 points. Tellis Frank has 10. Asbury has 12. Troy Douglas also has 10. The Hornets will inbound it. The full-length pass. Johnny Fort with the last shot, and it's going to go. The Hornets win it. 70-62. The Hornets win this one. So there you get a look at the Wallace Hornets as they exit off the court. And the Hornets come up with a big win. And Kevin Medved's rounding up Coach Earl Smith. So we're going to keep it right here. And we'll go to Kevin when he gets ready. Earl Smith's a winner here, and the Hornets are going to face Anderson in the championship game. And they're still alive and can still yet win this semi-state.
That's right, Bob. Anderson and Lew Wallace are going to be two evenly matched ball clubs. They're both big and strong underneath. They both have players who can shoot.
And the Hornets, once again, that final score was 70-68. Kevin Medved standing by with Earl Smith. We'll go with him as soon as the remote cameraman down there gets ready. He was drifting in the hallway, but he's forgot about our interview, so he's getting that set up. The Hornets played a strong game. They were up by as many as 17 in this ball game. They hang on to win this one 70-62, and as Phil mentioned, this one at the end kind of started to look like game number one when Anderson almost squandered a very big lead before they hung on to beat Lebanon. So Lew Wallace is the winner here. That's going to set up the matchup between Anderson and Lew Wallace. Benton Central also played a strong game, and nothing, you know, they should not be denied anything. They played a very strong game. Unfortunately, they come out on the short end in their season. And as soon as Kevin Medved is ready, we're going to go down with him. He's standing by with head coach Earl Smith, who beat Benton Central 70-62. Let's take it down to Kevin.
With me here is Coach Earl Smith of victorious Wallace Hornets. Coach, like you were just saying, that team wasn't unfamiliar to you, was it?
Well, it's not unfamiliar because we played, when I was at Gary Emerson, we played them quite often, and I kind of felt that they would be that kind of ball game because they are scrappy and you know, they played well. They had an intensity and a lot of things that you have to win.
Johnny Fort played like the All-American. He got recognition for it today.
Well, this is true, and it was really funny. A guy called me up and asked me who Johnny Fort was because they don't hear too much about him in this part of the state. But Johnny Fort is a great basketball player, and I think he's going to do a lot of justice to the University of Iowa where he's going. There's no question about that. He's a blue chipper.
Tell us, Frank blocked, I don't even know how many shots underneath. I think he had them thinking a little bit, taking the ball. They were kind of hesitant early in the game.
Right, that was an intimidating factor, and those are some of the characteristics of our team. We do have some great jumpers, and sometimes you got to have those big hands up to throw the shots off, but we were very pleased with it.
You weren't afraid at all to go to your bench this afternoon. You were shuffling guys in there in and out trying to find the right combination.
Well, that's the way it's been all year. My front line is fairly solid, but the guards are the guys that I have a little problem with at times, so we have to kind of interchange them to keep the momentum going. When they make a few mistakes out there, then it's time to pull them out and bring somebody else in. But we understand that. It's the way it's been going all year, and there's no problem with that at all.
What kind of strategy you got for Anderson tonight?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be an up-tempo type ball game. They're very quick. I think we have a little bit on his size, but it's going to be the kind of game that we're used to playing in the region, which is pushing the ball up and down the court. So it should be very interesting, and it's a spectator's game tonight. It's entertainment, and I think that's the way it'll be tonight for sure.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck to you tonight, tonight's game.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kevin. There with winning coach Earl Smith. We've got about 2 minutes before we're going to send it back to the studio. Once again, I'd like to go through some final stats here. Unofficially, what I have in front of me, Johnny Fort led all scorers with 17 points, or with 18 points. Bryan Asbury chipped in with 12. Troy Douglas had 10. Tellis Frank had 10. Calvin Douglas played a fine ball game off the bench. He had 8 points. Dwayne Coops chipped in with 2. Renee Glover had 7 points. And that's the lowdown for the Wallace Hornets. 17 points for Kerry Dimmich. He led Benton Central, and that was their top scorer, or I should say John Christopher was the top scorer with 18. So be sure to join us this evening at 6:45 when Lew Wallace meets the Anderson Indians in the championship game of the Lafayette Semi-State. We'll see you then. Acquisition and broadcast of today's second game of the Lafayette Semi-State was made possible through grants from American Savings and Loan Association of Munster, Indiana, Hooks Dependable Drugs, Pepsi-Cola Bottlers Company Incorporated of Munster, Indiana, and Hampton and Highland Luxury Apartment Community, 2300 Azalea Drive, phone 924-7550.